stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Yeah, you can usually count on me on Mondays to be here at 11:15. I have therapy at 10, so I'm usually up for it. I don't like missing therapy. Even if I don't really talk about much or cover anything, it's a good way for me to kind of get all the excess crap off of me. Morning, Ingrid. Yesterday, I did send you that I was live, but it didn't go through. Grabbing my wrist brace real quick. All right. Me, Ingrid, and Grogu. All right. Grogu. I just would like people to know that not Baby Yoda. Grogu. Okay. Quit being racist. Man, there's an argument going on in our 3 o'clock group, and I just don't agree with what's going on, and I'm not sure if I should say anything. Should I just stay out of it? It's drama. It's bull crap, honestly. 2 people arguing in a meeting should not. We don't have room for resentments. Let's just put it that way. And I'm not going to go through the whole drama thing. Yeah. I will ask that if I do say anything that I'm given the right words, because I believe in equality. It doesn't matter. See, do I have my own opinion on it? Sure. But when I have my own opinion, that's when my emotions become involved. When it's my opinion, my emotions are most likely involved, right? So I don't want to have an opinion on it, but there are facts. There are facts there, and I always need to take a look at those facts. All right, just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. Michelle's been watching this with us, so I'm kind of hoping she shows up. She's kind of a new watcher. It was funny. I was just talking to, hi, Patricia. I was just talking to my therapist, and what was I going to bring up? I don't remember. If I remember, I'll tell you. How about that? But yeah, I don't know if that I necessarily enjoy therapy, but it is a good release for me. It's I get to go there and bitch and complain. Sometimes I need to do that. I call those the excesses of emotions, of other emotions. So, all right, we are at the top of page 115 in the 12 by 12. We still have 10 pages to go. And we've done 11. So there we go. All right. Everybody ready? Let's do this. I didn't do introductions. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I will be your host. If you would ever like to host with me, or if you have a topic you'd like to come on and discuss, please let me know. I'd be happy to do it with you. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Thank you for letting me do that real quick. All right. After we come into AA, if we go on growing, our attitudes and actions towards security, emotional security, and financial security commence to change profoundly. I think money is probably one of the harder things that we tend to deal with because we all need it. We need to pay our bills. Do I go look for a job? Do I work on my AA? Still need a roof over your head, right? So we gotta figure this out. Our demand for emotional security for our own way had constantly thrown us into unworkable relations with other people. Though we were sometimes quite unconscious of this, the result has always been the same. Either we had tried to play God and dominate those about us, or we insisted on being over dependent upon them. Either way, we're being dependent upon them. Even if are deciding to go the God route, okay, what are we doing here? We're saying we're either better than or less than. And when you got to get rid of that thought process. There is no better than or greater than or less than in this situation. When it comes to human beings, there is no more than or less than. No. Where people had temporarily let us run their lives as though they were still children, we had felt very happy and secure ourselves. But when they finally resisted or ran away, we were bitterly hurt and disappointed. We blamed them, being quite unable to see that our unreasonable demands had been the cause. I'm going to tell you something. I knew I was doing it. I knew I was doing this, and I did it anyway. That is why I knew whenever somebody left me, I knew whose fault it was. I knew it was mine. So what would I do? I would just go on drinking. I would deny it, and I would just move on. Right? That's what happens when you have a head full of AA and a belly full of booze, man. Okay? It becomes a different type of hell. When it came to my wife, I knew I was doing this to her, and I couldn't stand the thought of losing her. Not due to my alcoholism, no. And that's why I got sober. I didn't want to lose my wife. I didn't want to lose my children. No. Not again. I've done recovery for myself, which was really hard to do. It was hard to do for myself because I didn't love me. Okay? Now I love me a little bit. Actually, I love me a lot. Okay? When we had taken the opposite tack and had insisted like infants ourselves that people protect and take care of us, or that the world owed us a living, then the result had been equally unfortunate. Either way, it drives people away because the insistent demands. Yeah. I didn't ask for things, I demanded them. This often caused the people we had loved most to push us aside or perhaps desert us entirely. Our disillusionment had been hard to bear. We couldn't imagine people acting that way towards us. We had failed to see that though adult in years, we were still behaving childishly, trying to turn everybody, friends, wives, husbands, and even the world itself, into protective parents. We had refused to learn the very hard lesson that the overdependence upon people is unsuccessful because all people are fallible, and even the best of them will sometimes let us down, especially when our demands for attention become unreasonable. This is a setup. It's a setup. We are setting ourselves up to drink. That's all we're doing. All this stuff was just a setup. So the next day, I've disappointed this person now. I would intentionally disappoint people so I would feel bad and I could drink. Okay? That's the dishonesty that we talk about in the program. I had to be honest with the fact that what I was doing was setting myself up every single day to drink. That's what I was doing. I was setting myself up to fail. Now I set myself up to succeed. Okay? Big difference. Big difference. As we made spiritual progress, we saw through these fallacies. It became clear that if we were ever to feel emotionally secure among grown up people, we would have to put our lives on a give and take basis. We would have to develop the sense of being in partnership or brotherhood with all those around us. We saw that we could need to give constantly of ourselves without demands for repayment. When we persistently did this, we gradually found that people were attracted to us as never before. And even if they failed us, we could be understanding and not too seriously affected. I just don't put expectations on people. I don't. Okay. Now, when my kids first moved in, I had some expectations. And I'm like, Dion, you've got to let go of those. And then you know what they did? They exceeded my expectation. I have no reason to complain. I don't. Do they do things the way I want them to? Fuck no. So, right? Yeah, I was doing laundry and they forgot to get the lint trap. Okay. The way I see it is if that's my biggest problem, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Right? Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm glad I was wrong. Have you ever been happy you were wrong? Yeah. I like those situations where I'm wrong like that. Absolutely. When we developed still more, yeah, we discovered the best possible source of emotional stability to be God Himself. We found that dependence upon His perfect justice, forgiveness, and love was healthy, and that would work where nothing else would. 6 and 7 are about the perfection of God. Okay. I know I'm never going to be perfect, but I am striving for perfection. You bet your ass I am. I'm striving to be like God. Will I get there? I don't know. I don't know. And it doesn't matter because I'm enjoying the journey. See, because I do that, I get to relax and take it easy. Well, I try, right? But why not use His perfect justice, forgiveness, and love? All right. If we really depended upon God, we couldn't very well play God to our fellows, nor could we feel the urge wholly to rely on human protection and care. These were new attitudes that finally brought many of us an inner strength and peace that could not be deeply shaken by shortcomings of others or by any calamity not of our own making. That's what's going on with the group. See, there's a calamity going on in the group, not of my own making, but it is affecting the group, and it should not. What needs to happen is these two boys need to grow the fuck up. Period. And stop using the group as their battleground. I think I just figured out what I'm going to put in the text. This new outlook was, we learned something. Well, let's talk about that calamity not of our own making real quick. Okay. What else is calamity? Drama. Drama. Guess what we love? Yeah. What did I love? Drama. You bet. Why did I love drama? Because it's an excuse to drink. Okay. I was addicted to drama. I was especially addicted to other people's drama because then I didn't have to look at myself. It's so much easier, especially when they create that calamity in the meeting, to not look at myself. Okay. The first thing that I did when it happened was, do I do that? That was the first question I asked myself. Do I do that? No, Dion, you don't. Okay. I'm clear there. Now, what's actually going on here? Why did I ask myself that? Because if you spot it, you got it. And I wanted to make sure that I wasn't caught up in the calamity. I need to make sure that that what I would say is not opinionated, but fact from experience. This new outlook was we learned something especially necessary for us alcoholics. For alcoholism had been a lonely business, even though we had been surrounded by people who loved us. But when self-will had driven everybody away and our isolation had become complete, it caused us to play the big shot in cheap barrooms and then fare forth alone on the street to depend upon the charity of passerby. We were still trying to find emotional security by being dominating or dependent upon others, even when our fortunes had not ebbed that much and we were nevertheless found ourselves alone in the world. We still vainly tried to be secure by some unhealthy kind of domination or dependence. For those of us who were like that, AA had a very special meaning. Through it, we began to learn right relations with people who understand us. We don't have to be alone anymore. No. You know, for me, I know that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Okay. But I can tell you this, my relationships are pretty freaking solid, man. Okay. I can count how many friends I have on one hand, but I can rely on these people. I trust these people. Yeah, I can trust them. I can trust that they're going to be human, that they're going to be fallible just like me. And if and when that happens, I will be there to help you stand back up, brush yourself off, and we'll keep trudging together. I have not found any other way that I would like to do that. Why go through this arduous stuff alone when you don't need to, man? I don't want other people to know. They already know. They already know. We didn't hide shit. I love when people, oh, I hid my drinking for, no, you didn't. It's just nobody wanted to say something to your angry ass. Nobody wanted to confront you because of fear. Oh, then maybe I was affecting other people. Yeah, you were. Let's do another page. Most married folk in AA have very happy homes. To a surprising extent, AA has offset the damage to family life brought about by years of alcoholism. But just like all other societies, we do have sex and marital problems, and sometimes they are distressingly acute. Permanent marriage breakups and separations, however, are unusual in AA. Our main problem is not how we are to stay married, is how to be more happily married by eliminating the severe emotional twists that have so often stemmed from alcoholism. It's all right. I thought you might have to go, so no biggie. I was thinking about ending, so you were partially right. But then I saw it was 18 minutes. I figured go a little bit longer. I have a meeting at noon with Colorado Consortium. They write grants for people like me. All right. So with this is what I see. Okay. And this has been my experience. If an alcoholic comes in and starts to get well, okay, but the codependent doesn't, it usually doesn't work out. Okay. If the Al-Anon gets better, there's a good chance that it'll still work out. If they both go, there's a great chance they will stay together. That's what I've noticed. Okay. It's whether they put in the work, right? Like my wife, she went to Al-Anon for a year or so. Okay. She doesn't need to go like I go. She doesn't need the continued support because her husband's not being a dick. Nearly every sound a human being experiences is at some time in life a compelling desire to find a mate of the opposite sex with whom the fullest possible union can be made, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physical. This mighty urge is the root of great human accomplishments, a creative energy that deeply influences our lives. God fashioned us that way. So our question will be this: how, by ignorance, compulsion, and self-will, do we misuse this gift for our own destruction? We AAs cannot pretend to offer full answers to age-old perplexities, but our own experience does provide certain answers that work for us. When alcoholism strikes, very unnatural situations may develop which work against marriage partnership and compatible union. If the man is affected, the wife must become the head of the house, often the breadwinner. As matters get worse, the husband becomes sick and irresponsible, child who needs to be looked after and extricated from endless scrapes and impasses. Very gradually, and usually without any realization of the fact, the wife is forced to become the mother of the erring boy. And if she had strong maternal instincts to begin with, the situation is aggravated. Obviously, not much partnership can exist under these conditions. The wife usually goes on doing the best she knows how, but meanwhile, the alcoholic alternative loves and hates her maternal care. A pattern thereby established may take a lot of undoing later on. Nevertheless, under the influence of AA's 12 steps, these situations are often set right. So, real quick, and I'm going to wrap this up, is when I got into the program, my sponsor said, Dion, I know you want to go in and I know you want to apologize, and I'm not going to tell you that it's okay because not. But you're not going to go in there and apologize. Instead, what you're going to do is understand, number one, that you're not the head of the household. And I'm still not, just so you know. My wife does a great job at it. There's no reason for me to take over unless she wants me to do it. Right. Said you're gonna go in there, you're gonna clean the house, you're gonna do the dishes, you're gonna dust, you're gonna get the house clean. When you run out of things to do, then you're gonna ask your wife what needs to be done. And that's how you're gonna get started. So, all right. And thank you very much for the good luck. I have no idea what I'm gonna say. I don't even know what we're gonna talk about. Such is my life. All right. Thank you, everybody. I love you. Peace out and